Good morning. Well, I hope you're well. I hope you're safe. I have a lovely book today. It's called Sophie's Squash. And this is very important. It's a medal for people who write excellent stories, and this is excellent. We can't sing the sunshine song this morning because it's raining, but we're so happy because if it didn't rain, it's so hot here that our grass would be yellow and our trees would die. And we need to replant after our dreadful hurricane. And we are trying to do that. In fact, look what I've got for you to show today. This is a papaya that's going to grow. We love papaya. They're very good and very healthy. This is a beautiful plant, and we're trying to restart our garden. So let me sing you the rain song. It's raining, it's pouring, the old man is snoring. He went to bed with a feather in his hat, and he didn't get up in the morning. Rain, rain, go away, come again another day. I wonder if you remember that one. We used to sing that one in my school too. We love the rain here, and it's cool. Oh, it's so nice, because of course, since the hurricane, we don't have air conditioning. We need air conditioning. It was very, very hot yesterday. Today it's cool. So let me start this story. Sophie's Squash. And it's by Pat Zeltlow Miller and Anne Wilsdorf. And it's an honor book. I'll put my glasses on. Let me start. Oh, it's about a little girl. There's another one, the pig story we used to read. Similar drawing as Sarah. We used to read another one about pigs like that. Do you remember what it was called? I can't remember. Sophie's Squash. And here's Sophie sitting in a big pink armchair. Let's get on with the story. One bright fall day, Sophie chose a squash at the farmer's market. Her parents planned to serve it for supper, but Sophie had other ideas. We have farmers markets here. Here they've got squash, and they've got turnips and carrots, and a beautiful pumpkin to make pumpkin soup. Very good. So there's Sophie with her squash. It was just the right size to hold in her arms, just the right size to bounce on her knees, just the right size to love. I'm glad we met, Sophie whispered. Good friends are hard to find. And you know who she's been friends with? Look, she's holding the squash. It's very good to bounce on the knee, good to hold, good to cuddle. And now look what she's doing. Oh my goodness, she's got a teapot and her dogs and a cat and a baby carriage. It says, at home, Sophie used markers to give her squash a face. And then she wrapped it in a blanket and rocked it to sleep. Oh, look there, look. Always good to have a face. When it was time to make supper, Sophie's mother looked at the squash, and she looked at Sophie. I call her Bernice, Sophie said. I'll call for pizza, said her mother. Her mother was getting ready to use that squash to make dinner, but now Sophie's looking after it. She's given her a name, she's given her a face. And the mother said, right, we'll have to have pizza instead. After that, Bernice went everywhere with Sophie, to story time at the library, to visit other squash at the farmer's market, and to practice somersaults in the garden. There she is with the lady in the library, and there she's got the squash, and she's visiting her friend, the pumpkins, and the other squash. And look here, they're going down the hill, rolling over. She's a good friend, Bernice. every night, Sophie gave Bernice a bottle, a hug, and a kiss. Well, we did hope she'd love vegetables, Sophie's mother told her father. Shh, said Sophie. Bernice is sleeping. And there they are, look, the mummy and daddy, and there's Sophie. She said, be quiet, the baby's asleep. The baby is the squash, look, it's got a little cradle, and it's got a bed here. Oh, and here's the cat and the dog. Oh, look, and even the pictures on the wall are Bernice's pictures that Sophie's drawn. Lovely drawings. Sweet pea, Sophie's mother said one morning as they made blueberry waffles. Bernice is a squash, not a friend. If we don't eat her soon, she'll get mushy and gross. Let's bake her with marshmallows. Won't that taste yummy? Look at Sophie's face, that they could even think about baking her Bernice. That's my baby, that's my squash. Uh-oh, let's see what happens now. That afternoon, Sophie's father took her shopping. Sugar beet, he said, Bernice is a squash. Why don't you pick a nice toy to play with instead? But the trucks were too hard, and the dolls were too soft, and Sophie clutched Bernice's neck tightly. No thanks, she said. I have everything I need. And after supper, Sophie's parents called a family meeting. Bernice napped in Sophie's lap. Why don't we donate Bernice to the food pantry before she rots? Her father suggested. Sophie shook her head. Bernice will last forever. You see, so they're trying to say, don't just play with Bernice. Why don't you try some cars or some dolls or different people to play with? But no, Sophie wants Bernice, and she thinks she's going to last forever and ever. Do you think she'll last forever and ever? I mean, she is a squash. Bernice seems a little blotchy, said Sophie's dad on the way to the library. She looks perfect to me, Sophie replied. At story time, some kids pointed and stared. Hey, what's that spotty thing? A boy asked. Her name is Bernice, and she's a squash, Sophie said, with freckles. Maybe Bernice should stay home next time, Sophie's mum suggested. Why? Sophie asked. She wasn't the one being rude. Who was being rude? The children were being rude at poor old Sophie's squash. And there they are all going to the library. Even the squash there, look. Now she said it's got freckles. It's not really. I think it's falling apart, disintegrating. Oh dear. Still, as winter neared, Sophie noted changes. Bernice seemed softer, and her somersaults lacked their usual style. Look, she can't roll because she's rotting away, isn't she? And at the farmer's market, squash were everywhere, firm, shiny squash. What keeps a squash healthy? Sophie asked the farmer. It's simple, really, he said. Fresh air, good clean dirt, and a little love. Ah, well thought, Sophie. I have all that. So they've got to have fresh air, good clean dirt, and a little love, because the farmer said so. At home, Sophie cleared leaves from Bernice's favourite spot. She made a bed of soft soil, and she tucked Bernice in. And she kissed her good night. Get better soon, she whispered. And that night, while Sophie slept, The wind whistled and the tiny snowflakes fell. And there's Bernice under the ground. She's got a kiss. She's got fresh air. Let's see what's going to happen. Do you know what's going to happen? When she awoke, the world was covered in white. Do you think Bernice is cold out there? Sophie asked her mother. Oh, I'm sure she's warm and cozy under her snow blanket, her mother replied. Sophie gazed out of the window all morning. She was still there in the afternoon when her father came home with a surprise. You need a new friend, he said. See, the snow is falling. They can't go out, just like us. We can't go out. And there we are, look, see? He says you need a new friend. I think her family are trying to sort her out. Meet Ace. Ace was nice. But look what Ace is. Ace is a goldfish. He was very nice, but very boring. He just swam round and round in his bowl. Look who's happy to see Ace. Look, you see the cat? Oh, yes. But during the long winter, Sophie discovered that Ace was a superb silent reader who did fabulous flip turns. And he also listened politely when she talked about Bernice. So look what she's doing. Look, see, she's telling Ace all about Bernice, all about how good she is, and even though she's a squash. When the snow finally melted, Sophie rushed to the garden. The only thing there was a small green sprout. It looked strangely familiar. Bernice, Sophie said, how was your winter? There they are all rushing outside, and all they can see is this little tiny shoot. I wonder if that is really Bernice. Let's see. After that, Sophie, Ace and Bernice ate lunch together every day. And one bright summer morning, Sophie somersaulted across the yard, landed by the garden, and stared in disbelief. You see, here they are having a picnic, and there, look, you see how Bernice is growing? Wonder what she's growing into. And look, see, Ace is there and the cat. They're all having a lovely time in a tea party. Uh-oh, down the hill she goes. What will you find underneath there? Are you guessing? Are you guessing? Bernice had grown 2 tiny squash. Wow! Sophie said to them, you look just like your mum. I love that one. And soon, Bonnie and Baxter were just the right size for Sophie to hold in her arms and bounce on her knees. Just the right size to love. And look, she's got twins. Isn't that just lovely? No wonder it won a very good prize. But she wrote other books too, so if your parents are looking, well, let me see if we can find a list. Oh, she's written some really nice books. One I noticed that we know, an old-fashioned Thanksgiving story, Alligator Sue. Oh, she's written quite a lot. And there, look at the picture now. See them all? Sophie's Squash. We liked that, didn't we, Sarah?
We did.
Very good. Okay, thank you for listening with us. We're going to have a great day, and I hope you are. So, see you soon. Bye.